news around the world. Streaming live on www.facebook.com/DZRJ810am or on YouTube, channel RJ News. To all the Radio Bandido viewers and listeners, catch us on YouTube. Just search for RJ News PH, hit the subscribe button, and like the video. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you get notified when a new video gets uploaded. Don't miss out on our dynamite lineup. RJ 810 AM and YouTube channel RJ AM News.
Kasama mo ako, di kita iiwan. Kasama mo ako, nasaan ka man. Kasama mo ako, sa bawat saglit. Kakayaning lahat dahil kasangga mo ang langit.
Happy. Okay na. Okay, happy Happiness Month to everybody out there. Yes, did you know that back in 2012, March 20 was declared as the International Day of Happiness. Aren't you curious why? Diba? Because happiness and well-being were recognized as universal goals and aspirations in the lives of every human being. So that means that's you and me together, okay? So, ito pa. Diba? Did you also know that the year before it was declared, that March 20 was declared an International Day of Happiness, I also started my show here, diba? Happy Thoughts with Francine de las Alas with the very loving intention that every Pinoy should learn how to become happy 24/7 genuinely. Okay? So talk about foresight, timing, and relevance. So that is us. Okay? So alam mo na guys, so alam na this, as they say, happiness is a universal goal of every human being, and because that includes you and me, so we should work on that every single day as well. Okay? So but before that guys, our battle cry is to strive to be happy, everyone. So Sabado na naman, third month into the year 2021. So nakabawi na ba kayo? Diba? From 2020, I heard again that there is a surge in COVID cases na naman. Anyway, so I'm grateful to be here at RJ. I'm grateful to be live streaming. I wanted to be at RJ today, but my head was kind of woozy, so I just wanted to declutter, diba? Declutter mentally. So the most important thing is I am here with you right now. So live stream, I'm really grateful that we have that now. So every Saturdays, guys, Good, Great, Unstoppable, the Francine de las Alas show live streams from DZRJ 810 AM. And you can also check us out at our YouTube channel, that's RJ News PH. And also at TV Plus boxes, diba? There, sorry, at TV Plus boxes. So you can, we also want to request everyone who listens and tunes in to DZRJ to click like and share, and also hit that bell notification icon so you can also be notified of fresh shows every single day, okay? So YouTube channel wise, please also click the subscribe button, okay? So anyway, Fly Me to the Moon is one of the things that segment that I actually want to share with you, diba? I read it as BBC News that this Japanese billionaire, whose name is Yuzaka Maezawa, is looking for people who may want to fly round trip to the moon for free, diba? On board the SpaceX rocket. Okay? So anyway, the mission is called Dear Moon, and the reason why it caught my attention is for two things. One, because it's always been a dream of mine when I was young to be someday part of NASA. Diba? But my grades and my attitude towards studying was just really, really so bad. And the second is I just love the name of the project, hashtag Dear Moon. Diba? I just really love the whimsy in the Japanese culture. I wish we were always like that also, diba? We all something that is always so bright and cheerful. Ayan, okay? So this is so maybe it's not too late for me. This is my chance, and also yours too. But there are two criteria that you can have to follow, and one is the one of our criteria you must have these two. Is you have to advance whatever activity that you are in that help people and the greater society in some way, o diba? So wouldn't it be interesting if I were part of that? If I were part of that Dear Moon round trip flight to the moon and back, and it be so cool if I broadcasted happiness from up there, diba? So I think that's really truly mind blowing. So, Mr. Yuzaka Maizawa, my name is DJ Chin. You just might want to consider me. When is the training? Ayan, diba? So to anyone who has the heart and the guts, diba, to be part of this Dear Moon project, just make sure that you are advancing a cause that help people or greater society or mankind in some way. And second, you are also, of course, willing to support the other crew members who share similar aspirations. So that means, guys, that we have to be a reliable, supportive team player. Is that you? Diba? It sounds so simple, these two criteria, but it's actually, they say, diba, the simplest are usually the hardest thing to do. Okay? So anyway, Mr. Yuzaku, share the application through his Twitter link. So guys, apply na. Okay? I think this is interesting. So you will be going on a round trip flight around the moon and back on a SpaceX flight. So this opportunity checks all the boxes in my childhood dreams. And if we have the same childhood dreams of flying out in space, wow, why not? And speaking of space, on a related topic also, there is also another startup company, I think, who is also going to launch a luxurious international space hotel. O diba? Diba ang sarap talaga ng mag-hashtag think big. So the next time you think it can't be done, guys, just think of this free flight to the moon, diba? Everything can be done because everything is just about being smart. Okay? So anyway, more of our, of course, I was reading, I didn't know what segments to put in. I didn't want it to be, all about just tips or methods, diba, of how to be a better human being. So I said I might as well put in something interesting. So here's another more good news. I think we are also about to fix the traffic problem because air taxis are now going to be a thing, diba? Imagine that. I think we have a long way to go as far as the Philippines is concerned because we need to be disciplined on the land first before we can conquer the skies. Hi, I can imagine all the accidents when it comes to Pinoy drivers. Sky air car drivers. Okay. So anyway, seriously, a startup company named Joby Aviation is soon going public in a merger with Space with LinkedIn and Zynga founders for 6.6 billion. So this is enough for them to start a prototype and safety process and also set up a manufacturing facility. So how cool is that, diba? How can anyone want to be poor or dreamless when being wealthy offers so much opportunities that could land us among the stars, diba? So honestly, I do think that we are judged when we die this way. Well, it's not about us being good or being bad. It's whether we had a good attitude or a poor attitude. So in other words, while we were on earth, did we stay only in our comfort zones, or did we build our highest purpose here on earth? I think that is really the metric, diba? When you die and when you go and meet Saint Peter, diba? So yun. And maybe being good is just a bonus, but if you're good but it did not really affect mankind, so kulang ka pa. Baka you might just end up either maybe in purgatory, or might have to come back and reincarnate here on earth. So anyway, if the metric nga, if we are judged after we pass on based on whether we stayed on our comfort zone or built our pursued or carried out our good attitude, or stayed with our poor attitude and stayed in the comfort zone. If that is the case, guys, that means 99.9% of us are either going to purgatory or hell. So if I were you, diba, start flexing that smartness and that creativity and be part of that cause, diba, of being able to help improve or help change the world help change the world and help make it a better place for all mankind. But there's so many things that we can do actually. So anyway, so that is one interesting news. So that's air taxi soon. Diba? Maybe we're looking at that in about maybe 3 to 5 years. Because they still have to, of course, as they said, diba, prepare the prototype, maybe do a lot of tests. Although they've been doing a lot, I think thousands of testings already. I just don't remember the figure. But nevertheless, diba, so we still have, they haven't really done the testing as far as human drivers, diba, applied driving is concerned. Okay. Anyway, what else is out there? Oh, by the way, yeah. Travel. So since we are talking about sky taxis, we're along the lines of travel. Another new pandemic update, but not sure if this is on the good side or the bad side. But travel restrictions around the Philippines has been loosened, diba? So there are protocols have been adjusted and has been submitted by DILG. So this means, guys, that travel authorities from PNP and medical certificates issued by LGUs are no longer required. So it's been a year, and we are easing back to normal. I'm not so sure if that's a good thing, because as I heard, there seems to be a second surge going on. Okay, so in other words, guys, even if this travel restrictions have been loosened, we still have to be maingat. We still have to stay smart, stay safe, stay healthy, stay mindful, diba? And to not be just so self-absorbed or selfish. So we need to do this. We need to be able to take care of each other so that we can economically also help ourselves and also our country. Because guys, I don't think really we can't afford this for another 2 years. Babagsak talaga economy natin, because we are in a very traditional economic and business setup. Okay, so with that having said, the safety and all the vaccines are also being rolled out, and I don't have much info on this, on how we can get them. But one thing is for sure, guys, I will only use trusted sources for vaccinations. So I suggest you also do the same. So on a personal note, I don't want vaccine sources that railroad sovereignty. So that's already a hint. Okay? So if you want your freedom, guys, if you want your freedoms, choose vaccines only from sources that you can trust and will not railroad your sovereignty. Okay? So anyway, speaking of not being railroaded. Guys, how are you this 2020? Okay, so are you do you also, you know, find yourself like you just want to quit? Because sometimes I do find myself wanting to quit, but I justify I justify my reasons, and as expected, all reasons really sound valid. Diba? Reasons like hindi ko na kaya because why is it so hard? Diba? I would rather put my time and energy and effort where I think everything is just going to be easy. But you know, whenever I feel like quitting, tamang-tama, you know, baka this convo is also a perfect timing. Tamang-tama, we have this book reading sessions, and the book spoke to my pains and made me realize that really quitting is not an option. So kayo din, guys. It is only an option for you and me once we get to our goals. And that's the only time that we can decide, di ba? In my case, given my $1 million dream goals, and I am sure na that's the only time that once I have that $1 million income, that I can say, ayoko pala tong dream na to. But if it's not yet there, it's not yet time for me to jump it. Okay? Because I'm so sure, guys, that when I reach and land that $1 million dream goal of mine, ang masasabi ko is, buti na lang I did not quit. And another thing that I also most likely will say, aside from this really exciting, happy, fulfilling, humbling, gratifying statement of buti na lang hindi ako nag-quit. Sa another one, grabe, dati ganito pa yung buhay ko, ayoko nang bumalik doon. Diba? So I want to be able to say that to myself. So guys, if you feel like also quitting your goals, make sure, okay, this is the reason why I'm still on my feet. It's because of this. So make sure that you surround yourself with people with winning mindset like us. Okay? So ayan. So please, so if you also had your resolution, we still have a chance to start. We still have 9 months to go to turn around our 2021, and you know, bawiin natin siya from the monstrosity of 2020, di ba? Kung ano yung mababawi natin, bawiin natin. We cannot be defeated. Okay? So anyway, our conversation for today, I found a very interesting topic to begin the happiness series this month. Since this this is the month of happiness, diba? So several years ago, a caller called me and asked me, how can one be happy when there is no money? And my reply was, even the Dalai Lama says that poverty is not the way to happiness. So make this, guys, clear to you, clear to yourself. Make that sink in and make that a mindful consciousness that poverty is not the way to happiness. So let that take up mindful space in your head and in your heart, and especially if you are keep drowning and getting pounded deeper into your cycles of your own financial crisis, woundedness, and ruins. Okay? So again, paalala nyo sa sarili nyo that being happy is, but being poor is not the way to being happy. So you have to get out of that vicious life ruining, depression-causing cycle. Okay? And the most important reason why you should not be poor is because being in financial burdens is one of the burden that has far-lasting intergenerational negative consequences and effects on not just your lives, I said intergenerational, not just your children's, but their children's children. So just look at the mahirap, diba? And mahirap, if you have house helpers at home, or gardeners, or security guards, diba? If you examine their lives, diba, lahat from the lolo, puro mahirap lahat. So you have to make sure that this is one pattern that you must end now and must never be perpetuated. Okay? You know, this is one of the things that I like about watching K-drama, because they are very, 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 very clear of what being wealthy can do for them, diba? And what financial wellness can do for one's life. And and being, diba, taking care of your financial wellness is one way to being kind to yourself and to your loved ones. Okay? So, ayan. So, mind you, when it comes to, and this is one, also what I want to stress, money is not the root of all evil. It only depends on you kung masama ang ugali mo, like the corrupt politicians and the like. Diba? So if you are a corruptible soul or a corrupt soul or individual, of course, you will also use the money for evil, self-serving, selfish means. Okay? Just look around, diba? One of the things that I really don't like are the pera-pera negosyante. Diba? Yung kumita but it never grew their character. Diba? So I actually met one today, unfortunately, because I already engaged. I ordered fruits from her. Pero yung tawag dito, wala man lang siyang ginawang courtesy yung pala. There's a number there for ordering, and I did not see that. But I was already engaging with her. Orders and everything. But when it's all final, she said, please send your orders to this. This was our first time engagement. She did not even bother. I will send to do the courtesy of forwarding the message and coordinating it to her staff. Kasi first time buyer naman ako, which I would usually do for my clients in our business, diba? So yun yung pera-pera lang difference, yung may order lang, wala ka nang pake, basta may order. So diba? So that's also proof that that it's not the money that is the root of all evil. It's nasa pagkatao natin. Okay? So, but if you're one of those who's matulungin, mabait, financial, ito all to four, ha? Doesn't have to be matulungin and mabait lang. Kasi you can also be a doormat, di ba? Matulungin, mabait, righteous, financially adept, and have financial foresight, then you can use wealth to change not just your lot and your family's lot, but also, as I said, help change the world and make it a better place. So if you have the idea of being poor, please, that masama ang ugali ng sa telenovela nyo lang po napapanood yan. Meron sigurong iba, di ba? Those who did not really carve out their own money from scratch. Pero in general, it's not money, it is our character. Di ba? Money only amplifies it whether we are a good or a bad person. Okay? So, alin ka doon? Okay, so again, mind you, money is not the root of all evil. So anyway, this article, I found it in Esquire Mag. Okay, it is about savings account, and the article title is "How many savings account should we have?" And putting this out there, as this is what I'm putting this out there as this is what we all have to strive for. If you don't even have a bank account or money to save, guys, that is your square one challenge that you have to get out of. So the first thing that you have to do there is make more money. So if you have zero income, of course, make an income goal. Maybe, I don't know. Usually I said base it on your needs, diba? So you can start with 5,000, then next 10,000, next 15, and then 20, and then 30, diba? Because once you have an income goal, and you will also have a plan on how to make that, on how to bring that money in, will also, of course, appear, because that's just how your brain works, diba? From goal, it asks that once you have a clear goal, it asks your mind automatically questions how, and then it also automatically creates a game plan. Basta again, guys, legal, moral, ethical. Okay? So anyway, sorry. So if you have no money, you have to build money first. But once you already have money, we can now answer how many savings accounts should we have. So I'm also sharing this because by experience, guys, when we were in the life of 10 kahig at kalahating tuka, I used to say, 10 kahig, isang tuka, di ba? But when I went back to those times, hindi pala, 10 kahig at kalahating tuka lang pala, malala, maybe even a fourth, di ba? So, ganun ka din ba? And when we were, when we were in that situation in our lives and we were also learning to get out of it, I not only know of the expense patterns, our family's personal expense patterns, but I also also became aware or learned more about our money habits and our perception of it. Diba? So lumawak din siya as we were trying to secure ourselves or secure our financial peace of mind. So I also had to discard and balance the belief na kaya wala akong pera is because ako ay gastadora. And we hear this often, di ba? Ang gastos-gastos natin. When in fact, guys, hindi naman tayo magastos, di ba? Looking at the behavior, why we end up spending, the root cause of that cycle, is because we have long been deprived. And all throughout our years, there's so many things na pinagpalipas natin. And I always said, someday mabibili ko to, or I'll buy you next time, I'll save up for this, and we never get to buy it. So in our heads, guys, na-compound na yon, and na-compound na yung want, desire, and we never really got to buy or purchase any of those things that we wanted, diba? On a regular basis. So simply, so on second reason is because our income was really very small. So we end up, diba, small income, the smaller your income, the bigger the deprivation consequence and behavior. So when kaya nangyari every time, di ba, merong mga one-day millionaire, or every time we have an extra money, we end up, buying whatever we like, from milk tea to latte to I don't know, diba, clothes or hanging out with friends, or kain here and kain there. So, but when in fact, what we really have to check out is maliit lang ba what is our income, our current income situation, para mabalanse natin siya at otherwise we'd always ang mangyayari kasi we'd always be beating ourselves up, diba, unnecessarily. So unnecessarily. So we have to also examine closely our behavior, diba, our money habit, behavior and responses, as well as our income source, and see kung talagang nagmamatch ba yung reason na gastadora tayo dun sa income natin and dun sa lifelong acts of deprivation. Do you understand what I'm saying? So anyway, so I also had to learn to discard the idea na hindi naman ako gastadora, deprived lang, and I've just deprived myself and our family too long, diba? But I also had to balance that kasi hindi ko rin naman siya pwedeng sabihin na hindi ako gastadora and become irresponsible. So aside from this, I also practiced, diba, being a kind multi-millionaire, even if we are not one yet. So I had to pretend or simulate what kind of multi-billionaire would we be, and how do I know that I would really carry that out. And I remember I told you my story that I would simulate money management practice, diba, and pretend at this moment if I had 1.5 million income every single month, saan siya pupunta? So that, and I used every day in the morning talaga, I would get my phone calculator and would compute my expenses, diba? And then would compute ano yung gusto kong gawin dun sa money. So hanggang sa, of course, my psychological wallet grew, and also not only did my psychological wallet grow, it also made me accept that the kind of person I am as far as financial wellness is concerned. Diba? Because it's very important. Natanggap mo kasi other people can really judge you or make assumptions out of you when you have already reached your income goal or your wealth goal, kasi hindi naman nila nakita yung hirap na pinagdaanan mo. So it's very important na I also practiced, diba, being a multi-millionaire now every day and every day with a pretend income and a calculator on my hand every single morning. So for me to find yun nga, my financial my parang wealth identity, so to speak, diba? So anyway, this article that I'm sharing with you is somewhat a semblance of how I have been also how I have developed my financial wellness or my money management goals and my skills, diba? And yeah, so even if wala pa akong funds, I started this already. So these savings, success, and financial wellness, when I started earning an income, were already set up. Kasi kahit wala pa akong, nagpa-practice na ako nun. Okay? So, how many bank accounts should we really have? Okay. According to the Esquire magazine, I'm just gonna itemize this and just discuss the stuff that parang discuss not everything, but just some of the stuff. Of course, you have to have your income account. You have to have your savings account. You have to have your dollar account. You have to have your business account. You have to have a checking account and a spending account. As far as that Esquire magazine article is concerned, ito lang po yung dinaskas na. Of course, the income account, because it should all be funneled there, di ba? So regardless of the streams of income that you have to have an income account. So if you have 10 streams of income, each one of them should have a an income account, and there should be one mother income account that funnels all your net in wait. Hindi, tama. Niisip ko lang, no? Sige. Income account for every stream of income that you have. Okay? I don't want to funnel it in one account because later there is also part of this topic that I will discuss as far as bank insurance is concerned. Then, of course, so you have to have an income account for all your income streams. So siguro the writer of this just has one income stream kasi singular lang yung in-identify niya. Next, of course, you should have savings account. Guys, when I started, before I had income, before we had income, I already had several savings accounts. I separated them unknowingly because parang feeling ko I felt more mayaman having more savings account. So I had a lot of savings account, and of course, kahit wala akong nalalagay doon, I'm really very fortunate that the bank that I have now is very, very, parang is very understanding, di ba? Hindi na sinara, basta may nakikita lang siyang movement every year, kahit na konti pa yan. So anyway, so you have to have your savings account. So it's up to you how many that you want to have. Then second, you have to have a dollar account. So eto po, I have these are all, I have an income, we have an income account, okay, incomes account. We have incomes account. Then we also have savings account. And one of our goals that we want to have is a dollar account, a business account. We already also have a current account because this is how we pay pag-ibig. Diba? Dapat post-dated checks or something. Then, he also identified the spending account. The spending account can be, diba, what you spend every single month, and other, maybe your wants is also there. Your wants expenses is also there. Pero sa akin po nakaiwala yan. My spending account is tawag dito. My spending account is only for the household there. So parang hindi po ako nalilito. So it's all there and everything is just transferred there. And then dollar account, the reason why income, savings, dollar account. Dollar account is important so that when you travel, I think for me, that's my reason. For my travel, it's easy, diba, for me to, it's easy for me. Diba? Although I still don't have this yet. It's easy for me. It's easy for me when we travel as a family. So yun. And then, yun na nga, business account, current account. Current account, guys, if you have a checking account, it's very important also because you can track your legitimate expenses here. Kung gusto nyo, make a checking account also for your spending account. Diba? You issue check that you encash so that you can also identify. Because that's a difference with the checking account, having a checking account and cash. Because yung cash, hindi naman nalalabelan once you bring that out. But in a checking account, you can at least, write there what it's for. Yan, ganon, okay? So these are the other things, of course, that have, those were the only, okay, the 6 accounts were the only ones discussed, diba? And I think it's also dependent on the person that wrote this. So maybe this is just as far as this is just how far his financial wellness has evolved. Pero ako guys, I always add, diba, when I simulate, what if I'm already earning 1.5 or 2 million pesos a month, diba? So I also always simulate their part of the top 10 is my philanthropic account or my community building. Okay? And tawag dito. And so as I said, money is not the root of all evil, diba? It can amplify the character only. So kung ang character mo masamang tao ka, then you don't have to have community building. Pero kung mabuti kang tao at wala ka ng pera at got so used to walang pera each time you wanted to donate, then this one, you can start having a mindful practice. Diba? Even if you don't have money, add that in your pretend income monthly, diba? Community building, so that nasasanay ka na. Kasi, ayun, so that nasasanay ka na. So once you become you reach that income goal, that financial wellness goal, you're automatically, your character and your personality and your beingness is automatically ready for philanthropic causes and project. Now, guys, as far as philanthropic account causes are concerned, ito naman yung sasabihin ko. Before I used to, kasi before the pandemic, it was easy for me to just, set aside for daily communities or yung magbigay lang because, kunwari, may binabudget talaga. It's not big because we are not yet earning that big. Pero I would also earmark a certain amount so that I can, if I meet someone who needs help, pwede kong ibigay. But then after the pandemic, I realized, with all these ayuda, that on a grand scale, I saw na lahat ng pinaghirapan ng tao, ng pinaghirapan ng tao, diba? Because that's our taxes lahat ng pinaghirapan ng tao, ang nakinabang lang, yung mga nasa, ang nakinabang lang is those who did not work as harder the way we have worked harder for them, diba? So me personally, I mind that, diba? So what I did was then I saw that later, but I still help the poor, but how, diba? So I made that into a separate account. So, but in terms of philanthropic causes, I have diversified it into the following. Yung talagang super helpless. So that means orphanages, diba? Orphanages or in causes where, let's say, there's parang war-torn situation, like maybe like UNICEF, diba? Yung mga ganon, and yung mga ganong social causes na talaga. And then I also put in education, and then in philanthropic, I of course family, diba? If in the family is now the main it got parang more entrenched to me after the ECQ ayuda that my family should come first. Diba? So my family should come first. So doon napupunta, plus again, yun nga, diba, the really helpless communities, and then studies and grants. Diba? Studies and grants. So like for example, diba, to solve the find cure for HIV, or find cure for or support find cure for COVID-19, mga ganong causes. So larger na siya, and I think more responsible. Okay? Then so you can do the same. Sino pa ba yung nasa philanthropic causes ko? I also chose, let's say, pag yung family ko na alam ko na we offered, especially our business, di ba? Like to everyone here on the, di ba, listening, we're offering a non-traditional business that's legit, moral, and ethical. And all you have to do is have a good attitude at magsipa, yung sipag mo dyan sa trabaho mo, ilagay mo yung sipag mo dito, and you can actually have a sky is the limit income. That is already out on the table, but if you still chose to do something else, diba? And something else, and mahirap pa rin yung life mo, and you come to me for help, I weigh that. I weigh that now. Kasi it's no longer true that there are no opportunities anymore out there. Even during the pandemic, guys, we redefined the thought that, we redefined the idea that our life can, our economic life will crumble because nga, we know that it's really dependent on the person. So as far as community building is concerned, guys, you also do the same, di ba? Pag pinaghirapan nyo, and then you think that ayuda, you don't also believe in the ayuda or helping na kung sino-sino because pinaghirapan nyo, tapos for self, you don't also believe in that, then just diversify your philanthropic or community building account, di ba? Just diversify that into what you think is more, more needs your parang the effort and the energy that you put in, diba? So number 8, our rest and recreation account, travel, diba? If you like memberships in hotels like I do, diba, or club memberships, it's up to you, but you have to have that kasi why baka you like to travel, diba? You wanna, for me, whether you like to travel or not, at least experience once a year a travel internationally so that you also get to open your mind. You also get to educate your children about different cultures, diba? And we see that in K-dramas. I have no idea what Korea was all about until I started watching K-drama. Then I saw a very admirable culture. Same with Japan, diba? Same with Singapore. So, and can you imagine if we also went to Europe and or countries like Canada and saw the different cultures. So kahit once a year, you should have that. Or bahala kayo, maybe you like the beach, going to Boracay all the time, diba? Or surfing. It's up to you, but you have to have an R&R account that should not come from your savings account, that should not be from your spending account, especially not from your philanthropic account, okay? So you have success setup account also. What is the success setup, guys? Long time ago, we wanted to migrate to Canada when we were newlyweds because we knew that there is just like who's this our chess master who migrated to the US, diba? We knew that the Philippines would not offer us anything. Buti na lang talaga our company Usana came here, diba? So so we wanted to migrate, and neither one of our parents could lend us 1 million because we needed it for landing fee, show money, application, lahat yun, diba? And when I became a parent and my kids started growing up also, I realized that someday, diba, they might also, when they also go through their adulting, they might also want to migrate and go for greener pastures abroad. So dapat kasama din to. Our children did not ask to be born, diba? So we have to support them all the way habang you still have breath, diba? We have to take them to the finish lines, okay? So number 10, of course, investment and insurance account. Why invest? Why should investment be there? I don't know why. I think this was also in the Esquire, but I add the insurance account. Investment, no brainer. You might probably want to start a business, many businesses later on. You also want to do stock trading. Maybe, diba, if cryptocurrency is legit, you also want to learn how to do that, diba? And of course, insurance. So magkasama na po siya because sometimes in insurance, it's also an investment. So put that together. There should be money for that. Then you should have also for allowance account, diba? So allowance, so tawag dito, so that your children also learn how to manage their finances. Kesa lang yung inaabot mo yung pera sa kanila. So if they have allowances account, you can deposit their allowances there, and then they can manage that. Then you have to have a family account. A family account is for anything that a family account is a family account. Oh, this one. Because aside from your children, of course, you have siblings, you have parents, diba? You have aunts and uncles. That family account is for first, before we give to others, we give to our family first. But of course, you give to those, again, this is a tricky situation also, diba? Because di naman lahat ng family members natin deserve to be helped. Pero there is really I have this family, diba, that we offered our business and they said, we're okay, we're kampante, like that. And then na COVID. Noong na COVID, ilang days pa lang sa hospital, they were already in the 1 point something million pesos. Can you imagine? And they could not afford it. Sino rin yung, I did not, it was very difficult for me to, automatic sa akin to want to give. But my heart says, give, and pero pinaghirapan namin to. Tapos sila, kukunin lang nila just because, especially after being offered an opportunity that can turn their lives around. And then, sabi na kasi okay pa ako, wala pa ako time. So, di ba, pero binigay ko din yun. Because I looked at it from the lens of my mom. Di ba? So, if my mom were here, what would she do? So, yun yung sinunod ko na lang. So, so every now and then, so a family account is for those who will, who are deserving only, but we have to have it there pa rin. Then, of course, leisure spending. What's leisure spending, guys? Hindi ito kasama sa R&R account. Hindi ito kasama sa spending account. Leisure spending is like now, diba, there's online shopping, diba, or you just want to eat out with your family. There's Grab food delivery, Food Panda. So, meron to. So, this is not a big amount, diba? Depende. Leisure spending, normally kasi it's, shopping, diba? Or, yeah, shopping. So, you define mo rin what goes in there. Pero for me, that's online shopping, that's food delivery, that's shopping, buying. Let's say you're going sa mall and then nakita ka ng polo, you wanna buy it, or you wanna buy jeans, diba? Kasi wala ka ng damit. Gusto mo nang magpalit ng wardrobe. Yeah, that's leisure. There should be an account. Of course, just like family account and, family account, hindi naman to ganun kalaki. Alright? So, tama lang din to. Then, you have to have a health account. Okay, what's a health account? So, aside from being able to afford your healthy lifestyle today, you also have to have healthy account for later on, diba? When you start aging and you have those developing degenerative diseases, so God forbid, wag naman, diba? So you have to have that also. But this health account is for the current and also for the future. Okay? So, what should I stress here in the health account? This includes, of course, your nutritionals, the healthy food that you will eat, diba? It also includes your fitness and maybe anything that has got to do with being healthy. So this has to be there. Then, of course, 16th, savings for education. So, an educational account, because you never know when you want to study something. Diba? Like, for example, when I was also in the red before, I wanted to do an online, to apply for an online job. So I went to Fiverr. These are online job portals, diba? So, but then they required so many certifications, and these certifications, of course, some are free, but also there are certifications that are also costly. I also want to go back and study either interior design or go to IT. Diba? I want to learn programming also. So, and your children might later on want, diba, to study and take up further education aside from you and your spouse. So you have to have money for education as well. Ito na, 17th, this is the last, tax account. You must always have a save for your taxes. Why? Because this is where the ayuda. Diba? Every time you pay your taxes, you have to remember that this is also your tithing. 'Di ba? So, tawag dito, this is also your form of tithing sa already on a larger, grander scale. Maybe nung time ni Jesus, 'di ba? Nung time ni Jesus, he said, "Give unto Caesar and give unto the church," 'di ba? Because that time, hindi pa naman, it wasn't like this pa. The character of the people of the poor people is not the same as the character of the people then. 'Di ba? So ibang-iba na po. Even the mahihirap nowadays are wais. 'Di ba? All our tricycle drivers in this, pag nakitang nakatira ka sa condo, ang i-charge sa'yo, double. 'Di ba? And not only, yung mga magtataho vendor dyan, 'di ba? Pag bumili ka ng ganun kalaki, sa 20 pesos lang. Pero pag nakita, ikaw yung galing sa condo, 40 pesos ang sina-charge nila. 'Di ba? So, they're smarter now. So, hindi na, parang for me, hindi na worth it tulungan, 'di ba? Ang hinahanap ko yung people, I would rather teach, tutulungan ko yung taong tinutulungan yung sarili nila. But if not, it will have, my tithing will be through my tax. So, paano mo siya mag-give sa tax? Of course, if you have big income already, 'di ba? If you, let's say if you're earning 300,000 a month and your tax will be 1.2 M, we don't get to see that kasi the magnitude of our tax because our income is very small. So nakikita lang natin na nagbabayad tayo sa gobyerno. But what if you were earning 300,000 a month? A year, that's 1.2. How can you not consider that a tithing? Diba? Nakakawin man ng gobyerno, but there's still infrastructure and the resources are still being nakikita. There's still some of the resources. We still see some of the resources in our like for example during the pandemic, diba? They brought out how much 290 something, is it trillion or billion, just so they can keep the economy afloat and diba, provide for those people who lost their jobs, diba, or no work, no pay during the ECQ, during the lockdown. So we were able to see that one way or the other in health centers. What else? Even our police, diba, they are being paid through our taxes to keep us safe. So, I think to keep everybody safe, wala nang pinipili na mayaman o mahirap, diba? Well, I don't know with the EJK, so I really can't say much. But basically, most police naman, as far as I know, are not naman bad, diba? So, walang nag-EJK. But so, we get to be protected. So, that's our taxes, diba? Protecting both the poor and the rich. Diba? Yung mababait na police, okay? So I'm not denying that we have also bad tomatoes, diba? So categorically speaking, that's what I'm saying. So your tax account is like your savings account. Like can serve as your tithing. Now, 18, you can have a tithing account and that can go to under your philanthropic or community building account. But your tax, especially if you're earning big already, can serve as your tithing on a grander scale. So that whatever goes into your community building can be diversified into areas which has the greatest needs. Greater betterment for mankind, like as I said, right? Clinical studies, diba, that improve mankind, from environment to health, diba, or education, educational grants, studies on solutions on how to solve poverty, yung mga ganong klaseng causes, if that's your thing, diba, or dun sa talagang areas now where both the government and society are not able to help, like for example orphanages, diba, and yung mga social causes like sa human trafficking or mga maybe drug rehab or something like that. So you can put that there. So it's guilt that those are still tithing but on a smarter scale na. Okay? So again, let me go through that. 754. How many savings accounts should we have? We have income, savings, dollar, business, current, spending account, philanthropic or community building, R&R account, success setup account, investment and insurance account, allowances account, family account, leisure spending, retirement account, health account, savings money for education, savings, and your tax account. Okay? So, masarap po magbayad ng tax. Pagka may pera ka. So, magpayaman na lang tayo. Diba? So, anyway, now, how do we define our own money habits and discipline? First of all, savings account allocations are the ones that I mentioned are a guide. You may define it, your distribution or your allocations based on your own behavior around money and how you want your life to look like. Okay? But whatever is your money management frames, guys, whatever is your money management frames, remember that community building and philanthropic and projects are unconditional. So whether you are poor pa, you're sampung kahig, kalahating tuka like us, practice it in your head and in your life every single day, every single morning. What if you were earning this much and get a calculator? How much is your expenses? How much will go to this distribution and allocation? But never forget, guys, that there should be philanthropic causes. Okay? Especially if you're one of those who assume and hate the rich for having it all. This is a perfect opportunity for you to practice being a kind being a kind or a good multi-billionaire even if you have none yet. Okay? So, yan. So, define it around your behavior, money around your behavior, except for bad habits, sa legal, moral, ethical, and how you want your life to look like. Okay? So, next, 500 pesos insurance. I used to think that money in the bank was safe, guys. In other words, was safe. Hold on. Till I found out that if something happened to the bank and you had millions in it, diba, the bank insurance will only return to you 500,000. That is a Bangko Sentral policy. So it kind of makes me think, diba, kind of that banks and insurances are scams in disguise. Diba? They make you believe that you need to save, diba? Or you need to buy insurances. Pero yung pala, something happens, especially in the mga mutual funds, diba? The market can fluctuate. Whatever money that you brought in there, tawag dito, pwedeng malugi, diba? So you have to think long-term investment, hindi short-term, para just in case, diba? Like Warren Buffett, pag-aralan nyo na lang po yun. Or like or the bank, imagine, that's so strict, pinagtrabahuan mo, diba? They made you believe that you have to put it in the bank. If something happens to the bank, 500,000 na. What if 500,000 lang yung sa bank mo? Baka percentage pa na nang ibigay nila, not 500,000 lang din, di ba? So anyway, as I said, buti pa negosyo namin, small capital, but with sky's the limit income, and there's proof of life. Maraming. Kaya lang, yun na nga, saan ko pa rin, where will we still put the money except in the banks or investment? So, here is my conundrum. If banks will only give you back 500K top, should anything happen to them, and that is our hard-earned money, should we open multitudes of savings accounts that take 500,000 each? Diba? Well, maybe somebody can answer that. I have no answer to that, and my husband says that is why banks are very careful. And to that I add, bank only with trusted banks. And back with maybe with as many or have as many passbook accounts. I don't know the answer to that, diba? But you can check with your bank. Me, I only trust banks. Yung mga nakita ko during the ECQ that did not open talaga, ang inisip lang nila sila at yung mga employees nila, that really was a red flag for me. So anyway, that wraps up our episode on financial wellness, our episode on financial wellness, diba? This wraps up our episode on financial wellness is a crucial principle and element in the happiness of 24/7 happiness. And how do you know? You have to test yourself. If you found 1,000 pesos unexpectedly in your bag or drawer that you forgot about, what is your reaction? Will you be sad or will you feel in delight? Diba? If your answer is yes, good. If you found 50 pesos in your jeans pocket nung pag naglaba ka, do you get angry or feel bad or natuwa ka? So if the answer is yes, good. When you have sobra pa na pera after expenses, do you throw that money away or are you happy? Diba? When you get a raise that meets all your needs and you no longer have to borrow money every time kasi it used to be kulang to pay your needs, do you feel relieved or malungkot ka na hindi ka nauutang, di ba? If your answer to these questions are yes, that is proof that money brings happiness and it is a peace of mind too. So next time you want to be happy, consider building your wealth and savings accounts that secure both your happiness and your peace. Okay? So this is DJ Chin of Good, Great, Unstoppable, the Francine de las Alas Show, saying good night to everyone and have a great weekend and a great week ahead. I'll see you again next Saturday, Zoom style. Thank you.
The views and comments
Advising and entertaining.